Hello, guys and gals. We will be reading from the book Fables of Leonardo da Vinci. And I think that we left off. Oh, wait. We have to go through the copyright information, because I don't usually put that in the description. Fables of Leonardo da Vinci was interpreted and transcribed by Bruno Nardini. Introduction by Margaret Meeks and illustrated by Adriana Savoisi Mazza. And again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Last time we read, if I can find it again, I don't use bookmarks, and I should. The Ant and the Green. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't it. The Net. Not the internet, but like the net. We read The Net, which was an extra long story. The Clematis. The Butterfly and the Flame. The Ermine. The Flea and the Sheep. And now we are going to read The Water. There are 3 stories on this page, and we'll be reading at least 3 of them and maybe 3 more. So, this is a fable called The Water. Not Lady in the Water, that weird movie by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. But anyways, The Water. It's from the fable F-O. What's that stand for? I'm going to just check back here. Give me just a sec. Because I want to give people adequate information. F-O. Foster Code, located in the Institut de France, Paris. Okay, so in other words, this fable is located in a book in Paris. Okay, so it says, one day some water was seized by the wish to leave its usual place in the beautiful sea and fly up into the sky. So the water turned to the fire, begging for help. The fire agreed, and with its heat turned the water into a thin vapor, making it lighter than air. The vapor soared up into the sky, higher and higher, until finally it reached the coldest and most rarefied level of the atmosphere. Then the water particles, numb with cold, were forced together and became once more heavier than air. Once more heavier than air. I get it. Okay. The water molecules were forced together and became once more heavier than air. And they fell in the form of rain. They did not just fall, they cascaded earthwards. The arrogant water was soaked up by the dry soil and paying heavily for its arrogance, remained imprisoned in the earth. Sometimes what we wish doesn't always get us what we want. That's what I take away from it anyways. So basically, the water wanted to soar into the sky, so the fire turned the water into vapor. It went up. It got cool enough that it turned back into water, and it fell as rain, got trapped into the earth. Okay. Now we are going to read The Peasant and the Vine. It is from Humboldt Code. Let me see. H is Humboldt Code. I'm thinking that's Milan, Italy. I'm going to check. H. Humboldt Code. Nope, that's also in France. The Institut de France, Paris, France. Humboldt Code. So, this is in a different book. On page 112, the reverse page. Okay. The Peasant and the Vine. The farmer is very fond of me, thought the vine, as the peasant plopped a large number of poles and held up all its branches with other supports. I must reward him with grapes. So the vine set diligently to work and produced a fine crop of grapes. But after the harvest, the farmer suddenly took out all the props and other supports and piled them up on one side. With nothing to lay on, the poor vine fell to the ground. The farmer broke up the poles with his hatchet, carried them into the house, and flung them into the fire. Then the vine realized the farmer didn't care for him at all. He had only helped the vine when it profited himself. So, there's a lot that could be taken away from that. Maybe the way that some people use other people and then just basically throw them away when they're done with them. Stuff like that. Very, very insightful. Next, we're going to read The Stone and the Steel. It's from Atlantic Code. That's Milan, Italy. Yeah. Anyways, one day a flint stone struck by the steel turned upon it, surprised and indignant. Okay, excuse me. I'm going to have to read this one again. I'm getting all tongue-tied. One day a flint stone struck by the steel turned upon it, surprised and indignant, and said, "What's the matter with you? You must have taken me for someone else, because I do not know you. Let me alone, for I have never done any harm to anybody." The steel looked at the stone, then smiled and answered, "If you will have a little patience, you will see what marvelous fruit I can bring forth from you." At these words the flint was comforted, and bore with great patience the blows which the steel inflicted upon it. At last, very suddenly, there flashed forth a spark which lit a marvelous fire, and the power to do wonderful things. The fable is meant for those who begin their studies unwillingly, despite exhortations to continue, but if they are patient and persistent, they will see marvelous results. And this is right here, a picture. The story of The Stone and the Steel in Leonardo's own notes. And we're on to, I think that we're on to the Peacock. Yes, we are halfway through the book. Okay, this book is called The Peacock. From the legend Vangloria, and that's Humboldt Code again, page 10 on the reverse. Humboldt was Paris, France, if I remember right. Okay, let's take a look at this peacock. The farmer went out, shutting the farmyard gate. He had intended to return at once, but days passed and still he did not appear. The farmyard animals were hungry and thirsty. Even the cock, otherwise known as the rooster, stopped crowing. They all stood motionless so as not to waste their strength in the shade of a tree. Only the peacock rose staggeringly to his feet, opened like a fan his great multicolored tail, and began to pace to and fro. "Mamma," a skinny little chicken asked the hen, "why does the peacock spread his tail every day?" "Because he is vain, my child, and vanity is a vice that disappears only with death." A very grim story, indeed. Basically, it's how vanity can basically rule some people's lives. I believe, anyways. We might actually read 6 this time, because these are not very long. Okay, now we have The Miser from Legend Avarizia. Humboldt Code, which is Paris, France, page 6 on the reverse. Okay. Every now and again, the toad opened his mouth and swallowed a little earth. Why are you so thin?" a ladybird asked him one day. "Because I am always hungry," replied the toad. But you only eat earth," exclaimed the charmed insect. "Why do you not eat your fill?" "Because one day," replied the miser, "even the earth might come to an end." That makes complete sense. A miser is never satisfied. And we're probably going to finish this off with a reading called The Bowl. This one was from Legend Pazia, Humboldt Code, which is Paris, France, page 8 on the reverse. Okay, it says, "An escaped bull was creating havoc among the flocks and herds. The shepherds no longer had the courage to take their animals to pasture because of the great savage beast who always appeared suddenly, charging with head down and goring everything that stood in his way. The shepherds knew, however, that the bull hated the color red, and so one day they decided to set a trap for him. They draped the thick trunk of a tree with red cloth and then hid. The bull soon appeared, blowing through his nostrils. Seeing the red trunk, he lowered his head and charged, and with a great crash, his horn stuck in the tree, making him a prisoner." definitely. I'm going to see what we can look for in the future. The walnut and the bell tower is probably how we will start our next chapter. Maybe the stone in the road. We want to read at least 4, so the falcon and the duck probably also. But anyways, that was some readings from Fables of Leonardo da Vinci. This is part 11, I believe. I don't know. It's going to be whatever it says in the description because I don't remember. I'm thinking that this is part 11, but I thought previously that the Wings of Silver one was 8. I mean, it was 9 when it was actually 8. So I don't know. I can't really go by what I know right now, but it'll be whatever the description says. Anyways, with that being said, that will be the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you like this video or this content, then make sure that you hit like and subscribe, and that you ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, all the information will be in the description below. I make these videos for fun and because I like to try and make quality content. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.